to do something more fulfilling and rewarding. It all started at Salon Services Hair and Beauty Academy. At Salon Services, we give you hands-on training with top-of-the-line products. We also have an ultra-modern facilities for teaching and learning, and our instructors are highly trained. We also admit people into apprenticeship, and our services open to the general public. Courses include cosmetology, beauty therapy, hairdressing, and barbering. Locate Salon Services in Accra, opposite Wallace Park. Salon Services Hair and Beauty Academy. Come with a dream, live with a career.
We wish our Frytol family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Frytol, making life memorable.
Platinum High Studios in Accra. This is GHOne News Tonight.
We're grateful that you chose GHOne News tonight. My name is Kweku Temeng.
And I am Abena Owusu Nyamekye. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, coming up in our headlines tonight.
Nine confirmed dead in the gas explosion.
Tonight we'll talk some chieftaincy matters as Nyamekye denies ever saying he would abdicate his throne if President Mahama loses.
Later in business, Temeng Oil Refinery to start processing Ghana's first locally drilled crude from the Cheneboa Enyira Ntumi oil fields.
Dennis Mepuri will be joining us with sports as no lofty targets for new Abena coach, says CEO Albert Coming.
And later, the hijacking of a Libyan plane ends peacefully after armed men who seized control of surrendered in Malta. Here's our first story. All through yesterday, we've been updating you on that gas explosion in La. Right now, we know that 9 persons have been confirmed dead in Thursday's gas explosion at La and here in Accra. Several others, including 3 children, are in a critical condition. The Health Minister, Alex Segbefia, has promised government will take care of all the medical bills of the victims.
Sadly, many people were caught in the gas explosion at La, with 9 confirmed dead. The La General Hospital contained about 24 people, with 18 people discharged this morning. 6 victims are still on admission because of the severity of the burns. 5 people have been referred to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
We have 6 patients who are admitted at the moment. We had 4 others who came in and were transferred to other hospitals, namely 37, and I think 1 went to, or 2 went to Kolebu. And then we had 18 who came in, treated and discharged. So there has been a large number, but at the moment there are only 6 who are admitted here.
He added government will take full medical responsibility of the victims.
His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has indicated clearly that all the cost of the treatment for the burn victims will be borne by the government, and so we've tasked all the management to immediately begin to put their bills together. There's a lot of cost involved due to the fact that burns need and use a lot of consumables. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, we've been here before, and so we have some experience on how to deal with these issues, and the response has been quite quick unfortunate as the incident has been.
At a police hospital, a 13-year-old child was also on admission and currently responding to treatment. At the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, the burns of the victims were so severe that we decided not to film. The Chief Executive Officer of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Gilbert Backel, told the news team the level of burns of the victims is more critical and demands more attention. The cause of the fire, however, is still under investigation.
Our team were on the ground to bring you every bit of the details as and when it happened. Well, we had the opportunity to interact with some eyewitnesses on exactly what happened.
We were at a spot and we saw fire raining from heaven. Boom! Spreading all the... So I thought the world is coming to an end. Really? I thought the world is coming to an end. So we scattered around. What is happening? If the thing is around the trade fair side or let's see or anything. So I have to run for some meters. When I came, dead people are...
Okay, what happens is that we are at the station and we heard that the gas are blows. But by then there was the gas. It just broke out. It exposed out. It exposed out. By then there's no fire behind it. So it just burst out, and it's about 5 minutes later before the fire catch up. And when the fire catch up, from that distance to where the wayside is, we were all running because the heat. You can bear the witness from my ear.
Wow.
The heat. So we were all running across the streets. It's not easy. I've even won my leg here. My leg here. I fell down because the fire was coming with full speed. Yeah, that's what happened.
Well, actually, we all here when we see that the fire was exploding from the up. But we all know that maybe the power go off, the electricity power go off. So as soon as they come back, I think they come with the power consume. So I think that's the reason why this thing start burning.
It's a very sad day. I just got here and I've been speaking to the one in charge of this place, and from the account is giving, the preliminary account is giving me, it looks like we have a big disaster on our hands. There was a gas explosion which crossed over and went into the trade fair, and then a lot of people are injured. The commander tells me that the preliminary now we have about 8 people, 8 who are injured, 8 people who are injured from this side. I've also been told that there are 4 people from the trade fair side, and unfortunately the commander tells me 5 people have lost their lives.
Now, officers of the Ghana National Fire Service who first reported at the scene of the disaster had to call for reinforcements to bring the fire under control. It took them about 2 hours to do so. The public relations officer of the Ghana National Fire Service, Prince Billy Anaglate, spoke to GHOne News about why it took that long for the service to be able to fight the fire.
Well, actually, yes, about the injury, over 30 people have been injured and they had various degrees of burns. Have been rushed to 37 and La General Hospital. About the dead, I counted 5 people, not 7 people that I have counted. If there were 2 that I have not seen, I will not be able to confirm that. So I know of 5 people.
Is it true that these people are burnt beyond recognition?
Those that were dead?
Exactly.
Yes, they were burnt. They were actually burnt beyond recognition. Not that they were charred, but everything on them were burnt together with their body. And you realize basically where they were found, they were just passers-by. They were not inside. Of course, 4 of them, one of them basically was on a cycle, that got burned with the cycle, and 3 other ones. But the woman that was burned was actually within the confine of the gas filling station.
So the information we actually picked on the ground suggests that this explosion occurred as a result of an electric spark. Can you confirm this?
That is possible. That yes, if you have an electric spark, the gas, every gas filling station have actually vaporized. Put to be careful. any sources of fire or heat. So if there is any spark from electrical cable and there is a saturated vapor within the confine of the gas filling station, the tendency of re-sparking is very high. So yes, it's possible that might have initiated it. But thereafter, if there is fire on the whole system because of the spark, explosion can also result because you are having gas which is in liquid form within the tank. So if there is a heat introduced to it, there is something we call BLEVE, which is boiling liquid expansion vapor explosion. So the liquid, which is the gas we need, will definitely boil. We have severally checked gas filling stations. It's one of our, advice and requirements that gas filling stations should be at a distance from high, cables but the situation is that each time that you enforce some of these laws, there are challenges here and there that it gets to a time move to have that authority to move the people out of that because of high cable and other challenges that we have. I will not be able to still say why exactly, even people that have their investment, that you tell them this could cause fire and they still maintain having it there. It's a difficult thing in Ghana, especially trying to enforce safety laws in Ghana.
So, Anaglete, we realized that it took you a great deal of time to actually douse the flame. What was the challenge? Were you under-equipped?
It's not about under equipment. You saw several tenders. We move about 9 fire engines here, even with the turntable ladder. But the problem is about lack of availability of hydrants that would supply water to us. So with that fire, that extent of fire, the magnitude of fire that we have, we were looking for massive application of water to cool the tankers below the level where they will not explode. So if you are using massive application of water and you don't have uninterrupted water supply, you would definitely get exhausted in terms of water. That was what exactly happened, that we need to move our tenders in search of water. They travel from here to Makola to replenish, and when they get to those areas, the pressure was also very low. Getting water was a problem.
All right, so water definitely was a scarcity at that point. Meanwhile, the Ghana Water Company Limited says it cannot be blamed by the fire service for not being able to provide water for them. They said there was water within their proximity. Let's take a listen to the Ghana Water Company.
So if you are using these hydrants on daily basis and they are faulty, you need to communicate to the Ghana Water Company Limited. How often do they do this?
But if you also have to seal a hydrant, do you get in touch with the fire service to let them know you want to seal a hydrant?
We haven't sealed any hydrant. Not the hydrants are faulty and the spare parts are not readily available. We only need to seal them so that the water wouldn't go waste. But we do this maintenance on occasional we do this maintenance at regular time. We have a committee that's supposed to be meeting regularly to be discussing some of these issues, okay? And that happened. And so for us to be discussing even this thing on air, I mean...
When was the last meeting of this committee?
I can't really tell for now.
And how many times has this committee met this year?
I can also tell that
I see.
Now.
I see.
I know the committee has been on regular basis.
Still on this subject, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, has dismissed assertions that it failed to enforce safety standards and regulations on this siting of filling stations after the June 3rd flood and fire disasters that claimed almost 200 lives last year. The environmental regulator has been under heavy criticism following a fatal explosion that killed 9 persons at a gas filling station at La here in Accra. However, in an exclusive interview with GHOne News, the Chief Programs Officer at the EPA, William Marcus, said the public should stop blaming the EPA since yesterday's tragic incident was as a result of operational lapses from the gas station.
All right. right, so what we are seeing right now is the evacuation exercise, which is currently ongoing. We know that this exercise is being undertaken by a combined team of NADMO officials, personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service, and of course the Environmental Protection Agency. So what they have done is to bring a different vessel from a different gas company, in this case Trinity Gas Company, and the evacuation is what we are actually witnessing. And you can see the police officer holding the tube there. What they intend to do is to actually connect it to the vessel that has been brought, and so in a short while we expect that the tube will be connected to the vessel from Trinity Gas, and the evacuation process will start, after which the personnel from the Environmental Protection Agency would do their assessment to pick some pieces of information so that they would be able to make recommendations as far as this very particular tragedy is concerned. And so that is the evacuation process currently ongoing.
There was pressure built up in the vessel, and as a result, the manhole, that is the neck of the vessel, got out because of the excessive pressure, and that is how come the gas leaked. And once there was a leakage of gas and there was heat, any source of heat, it will trigger a fire. So that is what happened.
Right, and we also have some Ghanaians expressing concern that this tragedy could have been prevented if the Environmental Protection Agency had learned from the June 3 flood and fire disaster. Is it the case that you didn't learn, and so perhaps there was an oversight on your part? Oh,
that is a wrong impression that is being created. If you are a regulator, you train, you educate, you inform about the safety controls that any client has to put up. But no regulator can be at a plant facility like this 24 hours, because the people who are manning the facility has some responsibility. And so it's not that EPA has not learned any lesson. We've learned our lesson beyond June 3rd.
We know that this filling station has been in existence for 20 years, and if you look at where it's sited critically, you see that there are a number of high tension poles. Have you been doing audits over the years, and during those audits you didn't have any concern that looking at the number of high tension poles such a disaster could occur?
No, what occurred yesterday is not something even the company has control. It's an accident that happened. So the presence of the cables, we can't say that alone. If there was no leakage of product, there wouldn't be any fire.
How often do you do an audit of the filling stations that we have across the country, especially the gas filling stations? How often do you go to, for instance, do the environmental impact assessment and all of that?
Okay. By law, when we give permit for them to operate, the permit runs for 18 months for the first time we issue. Thereafter, every 24 months, they have to renew. In renewing the permit, we have to visit the station, look at the safety controls that they have to have at the station. So this thing is a routine thing that we do.
What lease have you picked, and what are your recommendations?
What we recommending is that first and foremost, we have to make the environment safe for the general public, and that is why, in the wisdom of the regulators, we have barricaded the place. Security is here. If you are not an authorized person, you are not supposed to walk into the accident scene. So what we are doing now is to evacuate the product that is there. Once we do the evacuation and the place is airy, over time the residual gas that is hiding either in the drain or in the bushes will get dissipated, and the place will be safe.
Now, earlier you were also suggesting that even after the evacuation, this very particular stretch should also be closed.
Yeah, I am still saying that, because if you walk downstream, because we've covered the drains, the concentration of the gas is very, is intense at some portions. It gives an indication that there are still some residual amount of gas, and if there's any source of ignition, heat, it will ignite fire, and therefore it will be safe that even after we've carried the gas away, we close the road.
For how long?
Today, so that by tomorrow it will be safe for auto vehicles to use. In that case, we can be sure that there wouldn't be any sparks to generate fire.
Staying large and in charge, bringing you every bit of the details you need to catch on yesterday's explosion in La. But we'll do other stories now. There was a heated debate in Parliament when the motion for the adoption of the Committee on Mines and Energy report was moved in the House. The committee's report is seeking Parliament to adopt an agreement between government and the Middle East Resources Investment Group for the repowering of the operations of the T3 power plant.
This 16th January of this year, the company which originally constructed the plant sent letters to the ministry and pleaded with them that they should be allowed. They should be allowed. Listen, they should be allowed to refurbish the plant for a meager sum of $7.8 million. The ministry,
I'm prepared to listen to this type of argument, yes, but I want you to leave out the agitation.
I've read that one out. So this is what I'm saying. This company has been prepared since January 2016 to refurbish T3 for a sum of $7.8 million. Mr. Speaker, how come that the government, through the Ministry of Power, is presenting to this House another company which is prepared to charge $138 million, Mr. Speaker, for the same plant that some company is prepared, Mr. Speaker, to do for $7.8 million.
KC is grossly misleading the House, and is by extension misleading the whole of Ghana. So, Speaker, what is before this House is the replacement of the T3 plant. It is not the refurbishment of T3 plant. It's replacement. Mr. Speaker, I want to put on record that as Deputy Minister, VRA, its staff, members and the board support this agreement entirely. Mr. Speaker, issues were raised. Arguments were raised. I personally chaired a meeting when we met the staff of VRA and we discussed this issue. In addition to that, the issue of the contract with TCC, and that's the company, we wrote to the Attorney General. The Attorney General gave his legal opinion on that. We wrote to Public Procurement Authority. They conducted financial due diligence on this agreement. We constituted a team comprising of ECG, VRA, the Attorney General's Office, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Power, and all the various stakeholders. They conducted due diligence on the technical aspect of this agreement. And so it is not as if, Mr. Speaker, somebody went somewhere, sat in a corner, agreed on something, and is trying to push that through the throat of Parliament.
And you're still watching News Tonight on GHOne TV. Up ahead, we've got sports and business as well as international brief. We're going to take a break, but before that, let's just bring you some of our top stories this hour.
9 confirmed dead in La gas explosion, as we brought you some updates on it.
When we return from the break, Nyamekye denies ever saying he would abdicate the throne if President Mahama loses.
Tonight I'll be joining you with some business and Temeng oil refinery to start processing Ghana's first locally drilled crude from the Trinidad and Yura in Temeng oil fields.
And later in sports, no lottery target for new Agiana coach, says CEO Albert Kome. Dennis Mapuri will be joining us.
Larata Lososo joins us with some updates from international world, where the hijacking of a Libyan plane ends peacefully after armed men who seized control surrendered in Malta. Alright, so we have this and other interesting details coming up shortly. Do stay with us. We're back soon.
Life is beautiful when all seems to be going on well, until the unfortunate happens. Misfortunes happen, but their effects never get to me. Thanks to Star Life for providing a way of life that is comfortable, enriching, and fulfilling. It's meant for you too. Live it.
Restoring you like it never happened is our way of life. Star Life, your solid partner for life.
Sing me one Christmas song. Sing one Christmas song. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay, let's do the happy birthday again. So sing another Christmas song. Baby, come. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Let's sing another Christmas song. Yekodi bronyo. Yekodi bronyo. Bronyo. Yekodi bronyo. Yekodi bronyo. Yekodi bronyo.
You're welcome back. The President-elect Nana Akufo-Addo has pledged to revamp the Savannah Accelerated Development Authority by restructuring the program. Addressing the chiefs and people of Nalerigo on his thank you tour in the northern region, Nana Akufo-Addo assured them his government will work diligently to raise the living standards of the people in the north.
I've come here today. My part also to say thank you for support and prayers that you gave for me. God, listen to your prayer. That is the basis of in all that I'm doing, I know that you will be present with me. With your own son, Vice President to be of the Republic. So I'm counting on you with your continual support and prayer and advice to make sure that we walk in the right direction, that we do the right thing. All the promises I've made to the people of Ghana, and the specific ones that I've made to the people of the northern regions of our country, God is going to give me the power and the energy to fulfill those promises. I intend to restructure the Northern Development Authority so that it will become a genuine instrument of progress for the people of the northern regions of our country. The other commitments that we have made, like irrigating farmlands,
of the northern region, bringing a money to solve basic all of these promises I intend.
All right, so let's still stay in Naralugu. Some more eyes. Vice President-elect Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia re-echoed the MPP's pledge to provide $1 million to each constituency and restore teacher and nursing trainee allowances in 2017.
This support. I also want to assure the people of Mamprogo, the people of Northern Ghana, and the people of Ghana as a whole that the promises that Nana Akufo-Addo made will be fulfilled. We are going to work very hard. Our pledge of $1 million per constituency, 40 billion Ghana cedis per constituency, we intend to fulfill it in 2017. The restoration of the teacher training and nursing training allowance will also be done in the first budget of Nana Akufo-Addo government. Our one village, one dam policy will also begin with the first budget of the Nana Akufo-Addo government. The focus is on jobs for our youth. That is the focus, and we are going to make sure that we address the needs of the people and implement the policies that will bring jobs for our youth. And I ask that we all live in peace.
We can now talk about Christmas. With just a day to go, the Volta Regional Capital Hall is yet to ease into the festive mood after rigorous electioneering activities. The usual Christmas colors of red and green, which adorn the entrance of shops and offices, are virtually missing, except for few corporate institutions. Residents say the NDC's defeat in the December 7th elections has dampened their spirit.
A drive-through hall reveals a calm atmosphere with very little activity to herald the Yuletide. No Christmas decorations, no Christmas carols, less shopping activity, just plain serenity. Some traders told GHOne News many of their customers are depressed because the governing National Democratic Congress lost the 2016 elections.
I have even forgotten. I thought the Christmas has been postponed, to be honest with you. And I don't even find myself in the mood as a gift shop operator to even put others in the mood. I am completely lost. I don't know where I'm starting from. I don't know where I'm ending.
However, drivers at bus terminals are making a lot of money because non-residents of Ho are traveling back home to their families.
The movement of vehicles and people is unprecedented. People are moving and down, and their sales are also increased considerably compared to last year. And we doubt where people are going to. And since about 3 days to the Christmas festivities, our things have galloped seriously.
Similarly, for the likes of Maule Adra, a tailor, business has not been bad this season.
Immediately after the election, people started bringing their clothes. I don't know, because the declaration has been done, so people started to sew and prepare for Xmas. 2016 Xmas at my work or in my business. My business is improving. A lot of works are coming for me to do, comparing this year to last year.
Lambert Atibos report for GHOne News.
Away from Christmas matters in Ho, let's move on to some chieftaincy issues. And yet spokesperson for Ni Ayibonte's Besemanche Palace, Ni Anan Agbo, has rubbished calls for Ni Ayibonte to abdicate his stool as Besemanche. Ni Anan Agbo insisted Besemanche never said he would abdicate his throne should President John Dramani Mahama lose the elections.
This statement has generated intense debate among Ghanaians, particularly after the NDC lost the elections. Pressure has been mounting on Nyai Bonte to abdicate his throne. Spokesperson for the Chief's Palace, Nianan Agbo, gave an interesting interpretation to Nyai Bonte's pledge to step down as chief, saying he never said he will abdicate his throne should President Mahama lose, but was rather referring to the NDC candidates of Odododiodo and Ablekuma South.
Chief of Staff, President GHOne Mahama, ye party Niti Alfredo Vanderboy, Kenila Vanderboy, Nimene, Ke Ameye, Allo Memo Papa Nyamekye war president way, Ne Tuni B Papa, Yele jurisdiction, Kamwako Menin Chita, boxing gym, Ekotamo, Elavindail, Ekotamo, Mokola Namatu, Nimene Hum Ababa. That sort, ni affaires on la damatete. Que assurer que bemene, alors mais ye parti ni ambala bena, lena ibotie ebaishi. Now, now we have a personal pronoun, and then we all know somebody is making a comment saying that against that I is a personal pronoun, but he did not say if they don't want the election, then those who elect me, those who put me on the set should sue me. He doesn't say that.
On his part, the Akwashonche of Bese Ni Ayi Adefio said Ni Ayi Bonte II remains the chief of Bese and that he is not the only chief who has declared his support for a particular political party.
It is no crime to belong to a party or offer support to a political party whose policies one admires at a point in time. Is Ni Ayi Bonte II the only chief who has declared his support for any political party in the history of our country?
No.
Certainly no.
No.
All efforts to get Ni Ayi Bonte to react has failed. But did Ni Ayi Bonte swear to step down or not? Alice Aite, GHOne News.
All right, so you have a personal pronoun.
I don't speak Ga, so you should tell me, what exactly did he say?
Okay, so he just tries to justify the fact that there could be two meanings to it, and that if there are two parliamentary candidates in the area where he speaks on Alfredo Vanderboy and Nilante Vanderboy, that if they don't, then that is the time that he will step down because of the various...
Are you listening to Ni Ayi Bonte himself? Okay.
I wanted to play it safe there.
Okay.
I decided to push that question.
Interesting times ahead. I'm sure we're going to see another press conference from the other side.
It's an interesting bit of the personal pronoun and
some English lessons.
Yes, that's a God dictionary for you. Trust me.
Let's move on now. A public health advocate, Dr. Ernest Kweku of the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, is advising Ghanaians to adopt a healthy lifestyle during the Yuletide. He says consumers of alcohol especially must do so in moderation to prevent high mortality rates during the Yuletide.
Recorded out of the 22 persons that were rushed to the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital in Kumasi between 24th and 26th December last year for excessive alcohol intake. With just 2 days to Christmas, Dr. Ernest Kweku of the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital is calling for moderation and is advising against taking alcohol on an empty stomach.
Cases who unfortunately die out of drunkenness, share drunkenness, and they are just hungry because they either go from place to place, drink from one spot to the other, and they don't eat enough or they don't eat at all, and then they suffer from what we doctors call hypoglycemia. That's low sugar in the blood. In the local parlance, they call it kitten. That's when people are really hungry at night, at dawn, and they are crawling and scrambling. They want something to eat. And I'm told that in the local parlance, they scramble for kinky to mash and add sugar. Yes, but unfortunately some die.
Dr. Kweku also advises that caution must be taken in food preparation as incidents of food poisoning are common during this period.
During the festive occasions, we tend to eat some foods that we normally don't eat, especially salad. We make the salad and we don't always eat salad, so we make large volumes and then many of the revelers who like to eat. We either refrigerate them or we don't refrigerate them. When they don't refrigerate, they go bad. If the refrigeration is also not good enough, at least 4 degrees Celsius, good refrigeration, then it may go bad. The advice is that, like, when you make the salad, eat them. Or make them in small quantities when you are not ready to eat them all. Because when it goes bad, it may give you stomach flu or food poisoning.
All right, so good advice for you, Abena. Don't go around drinking. Not you, but for every one of us. I mean, this festive season. If you decide to drink too much, look for some cake here.
We're going for the weather update here on News Tonight.
Is brought to you by Innesfly for a pest-free life.
Enough! Abba! Plenty medical bills. I have tried different methods and it hasn't prevented sin. My son has been in the hospital twice this year because of malaria. I haven't had a good night's sleep in years. Now no more. Since I painted with Innesfly insecticide paint. Copy.
Innesfly insecticide paint kills mosquitoes dead for up to 2 years. It is a quality paint, a healthier option, and it's totally safe for humans and pets.
Take my word for it. Paint malaria out. Use Innesfly insecticide paint now.
Innesfly for a pest-free life.
You've lost 4 kilos. You're 1.6. Come here, give me a hug.
You will never realize your full potential unless you try. Real people, real victories. Weight loss shouldn't be complicated. Catch Ghana's first weight loss reality TV show, Transformation with Jess, this and every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. only on GHOne TV.
We're grateful that you still kept faith with us here on GHOne News Tonight. It's now time for us to give you some updates from our world of business and gas sector. So let's do business now. The Temeng Oil Refinery will from next week begin processes for first crude from the Trinidad and Yura in Tome oil fields. The refinery took delivery of 1 million barrels of crude from the fields last week.
This will be the first time the Temeng Oil Refinery TOR is refining crude obtained locally. The refinery now has 2 processing plants which can refine the 1 million crude in 3 weeks. After the process, the country will be able to generate gasoline, gas oil, aviation fuel, premix, and LPG gas. Though the delivery doesn't come at lesser cost from crude oil imported into the country, experts say it will ensure stability to Ghana's oil reserves. This was revealed at a press conference by the union chairman of the Temeng Oil Refinery to deny allegations in the media that TOR are in limbo.
Beyond doubts that they said TOR cannot run or cannot refine Ghana crude, we've taken delivery of tin, and in a few days time when we are about to start, we want to invite a press to be here to see for yourself. procured it and it's now in our tanks. It's 1 million barrels.
All right, so give me the opportunity to go to the world market and find out crude oil prices, because then we're getting it from our own fields. Now, just about the early part of today, which I'll show you very shortly, it's right here on your screens. Crude oil this morning jumped to, that's the price, to $54 a barrel on the international market. Gold is pegged at $1,133 an ounce on the international market. Of course, you'd want to know about cocoa. That's about it. Cocoa is pegged at $2,220 per metric ton on the international markets. Dennis Mepuri has now joined us. He has all the updates you'd want to catch from our world of sports. Good evening, Dennis.
Good evening, Kweku. Right, you are. I've got all the latest news, and we'll take you to the camp of Aduana Stars. Also, Morocco is going to miss one player at the AFCON 2017. Who's that player? And also, Russia, their athletics coach, has been banned. We'll give you the names, and as we name and shame on Sports Brief on GHOne News tonight. You stay with us. So we begin Sports Brief with news on Aduana Stars, because the new Aduana Stars coach, Abubakar Yusuf, has not been given any lofty target, according to the club CEO, Albert Comey. The former Hearts of Oak trainer led Aduana Stars to win the Galka G6 competition following a short stint at relegated Techiman City after finishing last season's Ghana Premier League in second position. Aduana Stars fans are hoping their club and the coach, Abubakar, will be able to lead the Doma-based side to win the second league title in 7 years, but Albert Comey claims no lofty target has been set for coach Abubakar Yusuf.
We've not set any target, but he himself knows that there was a certain benchmark that he needs to meet. For instance, we were finalists in the G6 last season. This season he's won it. In one of his interviews, I heard that he said that he's coming to a team that was second in the league, so he knows that there will be pressure for him also to either equal it or move up. So those are challenges that we also recognize. So we'll not put more pressure on him by asking him to do whatever. Going into the league, there are possible threats, and you know very well that Wild Stars, you talk about Kotoko, House of Folk, and that.
So that was Albert Comey. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Aduana Stars. Taking us to our next story, where Ghanaian forward Yao Yeboah has told GH1 Sports that he feels he's done enough in the Dutch Eredivisie, or the top flight there in Holland, this season to earn a place in the Black Star squad for the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations. Yao Yeboah scored 2 goals in the 16 appearances for FC 20 this season, where he was on loan from Manchester City. Black Stars coach Avram Grant is yet to name his squad or present his program for the AFCON 2017 to the Ghana Football Association, but Yao Yeboah believes he deserves a spot in the list for the Continental Championship.
For the 6 months, and then I've been scoring, assisting as well, and I think I also deserve it, as I would say, because the further you're working hard, you deserve a chance, like bigger challenge to improve yourself better. I think it actually depends on the coaches and then the GFA to make the decision, but then they have to see the quality that the players have. And if they see that in me and they call me up, fantastic, because I'm ready for it.
Yao Yeboah is a player who plies his trade with FC 20. He was on loan there in Holland from Manchester City last term, and talking about the player who will be missing out in Morocco's squad for the AFCON 2017. A toe injury means that Nice's Younes Belhanda is set to miss the AFCON 2017 with Morocco. The 26-year-old midfielder has been ruled out for between 4 and 6 weeks by top-of-the-table OGC Nice there in France. He was injured on Wednesday in Nice's goalless draw with Bordeaux. His absence might mean a call-up for Ajax Amsterdam's Hakim Ziyech, who was surprisingly left out of Morocco's preliminary squad. Originally, coach Hervé Renard said that he has no place for the 23-year-old Ziyech, but now it looks like he might be relying on him after Belhanda got injured. And we wrap up with news on athletics, because Russian athletics coach Vladimir Mokanev has been suspended for 10 years for offenses including trafficking of banned substances. The Court of Arbitration for Sport has actually confirmed a statement today. Vladimir Mokanev, he's actually been banned for 10 years. And we'll give you more update on how, the Court of Arbitration for Sport will be suspending or punishing the Russian athletes in the coming days, because it was actually confirmed that they had a sponsored program for doping. So there are a few other names that will come up, and I can promise you that we'll give you the updates. That's all for Sports Brief on GHOne News Tonight.
We can now do some entertainment stories now. So after a 4-year wait, Ghana's very own dancehall queen Kaki has finally released her very much anticipated album Kaki Top. Emily Nzingli Nkosi reports.
After a long anticipated wait, Ghana's award-winning First Lady of Dancehall, Kaki, is releasing her first studio album. So I'm here to find out all about it. Do you prefer to be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond?
Big fish in a small pond. Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
It's to my advantage. I mean, if you're a small fish in a big pond, you won't be noticed. And it's going to take time, a long time, for you to grow and then be noticed, or you might not be noticed at all. But if you're a big fish in a small pond, you're noticed, and you're noticed.
I must commend her as well for keeping herself tight and focused on work and not restricting herself too much with unnecessary things that a girl her age would want to do. So it was nice, and I stand here proud.
So do you feel like along the way you've almost adopted another nationality?
Nationality, no, because this is Afro dancehall, yes, and we do our own patois, and when they come, they see and they know that it's not theirs. That's the whole point. You're not trying to imitate. You're trying to make it acceptable where we come from. This is who we are, and this is where we come from. We're Africans, and so we portray African dancehall.
What inspired some of the songs?
Well, I want to dedicate this very album, Kaki Top album, to my senior artist. His name is Geto KB, but we lost him last year. So may his soul rest in peace. I'll say he was one of the greatest inspiration for this very album. He was always there in the studio, encouraging, trying to help me write. He really brought out, trying to help me bring out that, or find that music attitude.
It's been a great experience, trying to nurture a female artist in a male-dominated industry and trying to do it with no strings attached and just making sure you're focusing on the target and going for it. It's been a challenge. Besides combining her education and the art, and we having to give her a break to be able to finish the books, do her national service, and come back to the work.
In your car, who do you listen to on repeat?
Well, I'm kind of dicey but I have good taste for good songs. So for now, or right now in this particular season, I'll say Runtown, Mad Over You. Because that's what's got me on repeat for 2 days.
Now, with the festive season here, musicians from the northern part of the country are looking forward to treating fans in their home regions to exciting performances. But there's one problem. In the Upper West region, performers cannot find the perfect venue. That is one of the many reasons Afro-pop singer Riala wants an entertainment center constructed in that region. She spoke to GHOne News ahead of the Jimba Music Festival.
The land is good, the land is fine. Gold we have, diamonds we mine.
Although excited to perform, she believes very little attention is given the industry in that region. She bemoaned the absence of a befitting entertainment center. According to her, if such a center is built, it would encourage the guys to do more in terms of mastering their crafts.
It's going to be the first of
official live band music concert or festival happening in the Upper West region, and I'm sure a lot of people want to come and see. The whole of Upper West region, they need to support the arts. I am an Upper Westerner, but I do know how it is when it comes to entertainment, music. Here, 10 years ago it was difficult. Only little children will come to these shows, but today I can brag that grown-ups are beginning to attend. That is because a lot of us have decided to take it seriously. We let them understand that music is not just something bad. Whether you belong to any religious group, music is a God-given talent, and they should support us.
The annual Jimbo Festival brings together performers who hail from the Upper West region. The music festival presents a time for the artists to reconnect with their fans in their home regions.
Africa.
All right, it's now time for us to get some news from other parts of the world. Joining us is Larato Lusoso. Hello.
A very good evening to you and a very good evening to our viewers. Time now to have a look at news making headlines across the world. Tonight we start off in Libya. The domestic flight with 118 people on board was hijacked in the morning after taking off from Sabah bound for the Libyan capital Tripoli. The incident began after the plane took off from Sabah at 11:10 local time, landing in Malta 2 hours and 20 minutes later. According to reports, at least one man claiming to have a hand grenade threatened to blow up the plane. The hijackers surrendered to Maltese authorities after most of the people had been released from the Africa Airways Airbus A320. They have now been arrested. It remains unclear exactly how many hijackers were involved. However, it appears they may be supporters of the late former leader Muammar Gaddafi. A man was seen waving a green Gaddafi era flag from the top of the plane steps shortly after before the incident ended. Taher Siale, the foreign minister of Libya's internationally backed government of national accord, said the hijackers wanted to set up a pro-Gaddafi political party. Up to 2 hijackers described as being from the pro-Gaddafi group Al-Fatah al-Gadida have seized control of Africa Airways flight 8U209 in Libya, forcing the Airbus A320 plane to divert to Malta. It's understood there were 180 people on board. The plane was making an international flight from Sabah to Tripoli. But right now we want to have a look at some of the visuals that we have found in what has happened in Libya this morning. As you can see on your screen, we have the hijack spot here. The plane left from Sabah and it went on. It was meant to go to Tripoli, but because of the 2 people, they now made the plane to divert to Malta. And we see here the military awaiting just outside the aircraft, awaiting command, because at the time they were not quite certain as to what was going on, and the identities of those responsible for the jacking was not yet known. And as we see here once again on the slide, the picture is not of that best quality, but if you just have a closer look, you see a man right here next to my finger, him holding a flag, which is one of the said men that we've just read about, holding a flag as part of the, a symbol of what he was standing for. And on the next slide, we see the 2 men, the 2 suspects that have now been arrested just shortly before the negotiation session, waving their hands as a sign of surrender to the military. And then on our last slide, we see one of the many images that has gone on with assistance, some of the passengers being assisted to disembark the aircraft, and then also they were safely landed and safely disembarked while negotiations were still ongoing. That is our top story for tonight, International Libya, our hotspot of news today. And before we wrap up tonight, we just want to briefly give you an update on Gambia. That is, the Senegal will lead military intervention to oust Gambia's President Yahya Jammeh if he refuses to step down when his mandate expires on the 19th of January. This was said by Mr. De Sousa, a senior official of the West African regional grouping ECOWAS. He further added that it was not ECOWAS' wish to satellite the zone, and if Mr. Jammeh loves his people, he should negotiate an exit door calmly. And that's all we have for you tonight and this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Over back to you, Abena and Kweku.
All right.
Thank you very much, Alarato. So grateful.
We are done
quite
here.
a safe incident in Tripoli. I mean, it was okay.
at
London
least.
and
They
these
surrendered
surrounding,
and
no lives lost. I think it ended up well in a which way.
it did. Well, it's Christmas. Merry Christmas, Kweku.
Merry Christmas, Abena. We'll see you here tomorrow.
Tomorrow is Saturday. We will not be here tomorrow, but next week definitely.
We're coming back.
Thank you for watching News Tonight. My name is Abena Owusu Nyamekye.
And my name is Kweku Temeng. I meant to see you home tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Life is beautiful when all seems to be going on well, until the unfortunate happens. Misfortunes happen, but their effects never get to me. Thanks to Star Life for providing a way of life that is comfortable, enriching, and fulfilling. It's meant for you too. Live it.
Restoring you like it never happened is our way of life. Star Life, your solid partner for life.
4G is non-stop music. It's sharing and entertainment without buffering. It's gaming with no lag and movies with full immersion. 4G is business without restrictions. It's also smarter money. It's learning beyond borders. Achievement without limits. And health for everyone. It's love, family, joy, and everything else. 4G is life. Get a 4G device today and live on the next level. MTN 4G. Hello, future.
MTN, everywhere you go.
We wish you a Merry Christmas from Sassoon Satisfied Spray and Sassoon Mosquito Hut. Tum Kweku. We wish you a Sasso Christmas from our Sasso team. We wish you a Sasso Christmas from our Sasso team.
See the refreshing smiles of a fresh couple with the knowledge that their honeymoon trip is fully insured. And the gracious smiles of the ever undisturbed homeowners. And that fulfilled smile from the contractor having his contract solidly insured.
And there's something about the way your love shines on.
And that glowing smile you wear when your precious car is sorted out. Star Assurance, creating smiles since 1985. Star Assurance, your solid partner.
If I don't see this wedding with my own eyeballs, dear, it's not me. I just go into the church. Okay, let me connect my earpiece.
Now you may. Renano.
enjoy their sharing here. What's alarm? Buffet, papa.
Enjoy even more Facebook sessions with MTN Free After One. Now, talk for 1 minute on MTN Free After One and enjoy free Facebook for the rest of the day. And you still only pay for the first minute. The rest is free. Dial *315# to sign up now. MTN, everywhere you go.